Hi, I'm Dr. Charlton Hall with the Mindful Ecotherapy Center. And today we're going to talk about how psychological suffering doesn't always originate entirely inside the person. One of the foundational pillars of mindfulness-based ecotherapy is family systems therapy. And in family systems, we don't conceive of the problem as being inside the person so much as it is in the interactions that people have with the outside world. And diagnosis can be useful, but it doesn't always tell the whole story. What do I mean by that? Well, anxiety, depression, anger, and burnout can sometimes be understandable responses to circumstances that people find themselves in. So, in mindfulness-based ecotherapy, we look at the whole ecosystem. For example, if a plant is suffering, it doesn't mean it's the plant's fault necessarily. It could be something, some sort of contaminant in the soil, or some sort of fungus, or some sort of insect that's bothering it. So the illness is a natural response to those environmental conditions. Human beings are also affected by the environment they live in. Workplaces, communities, family, technology, and even the natural environment can all impact your mental health. Of course, the context here doesn't mean that you have no responsibility. This is not a way of blaming or shaming or putting the responsibility for your own mental health off on someone else. It's just an acknowledgement that people don't exist in a vacuum. You exist in a family, you exist in a community, and then you exist in an environment as well. Basically, what all this means is instead of asking what's wrong with me, ask what is it that I need to change? And if I can't change that, what is it that I need to accept? One of the ways we can do this is with mindfulness-based ecotherapy. Mindfulness-based ecotherapy is mindfulness and ecotherapy combined together. The mindfulness helps us to observe what's happening around us and inside of us without immediately judging ourselves or others. And ecotherapy expands on that question beyond individuals to the relationship and to the environment around the person. Mindfulness-based ecotherapy combines both to ask, what am I experiencing and what is happening around me? Suppose, for example, someone has anxiety at work. Instead of asking only, how can we make this person less anxious? Ask instead, what's happening in the workplace that might be contributing to the anxiety? What relationships are involved? What happens to your anxiety when there's somewhere that you can go that is safe and supportive? What happens to your anxiety if you take a walk in the park or just sit there with your eyes closed quietly for a few moments, imagining yourself in a natural environment? Of course, sometimes the answer to these changes is that it's an internal thing that needs to change, but sometimes it's an environmental change too, or it can be both. Acceptance doesn't mean tolerating everything either. Mindfulness isn't about learning to tolerate unhealthy relationships or environments indefinitely. Sometimes it's about learning what you can accept and what you have to change. And if you can't change it, then you have to accept it. If you can't accept it, you have to change it. Where the hard part comes in is having the wisdom to know what you can change and what you can't change. And if you're stuck in that situation, that's where mindfulness-based ecotherapy can help. So instead of always asking what's wrong with me, instead try asking what's happening between you, the world you live in, and the people around you, and what can be adjusted in those relationships. Because sometimes healing doesn't mean fixing the person. Sometimes it means fixing the relationships or modifying the relationships around you and in your life so that you don't have those problems anymore. I'm Dr. Hall with the Mindful Ecotherapy Center. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website.
Hi, this is Dr. Charlton Hall. I'm the Executive Director of the Mindful Ecotherapy Center. If you're enjoying our videos, please don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell to be informed when new videos are released. You can also learn more about the work of the Mindful Ecotherapy Center by visiting our website at mindfulecotherapy.org.